Monday, the 12th of July 2021 will be remembered as the day Durban burned. That was almost 2 weeks ago, but there's still an acrid smell in the morning air, fueled by the smouldering embers of the factories that were razed to the ground by the looters. The streets look post-apocalyptic, littered with glass and cardboard, the remnants of the cataclysmic assault on the city. The stark reality is that the looting caused billions of rands of damage, a death toll of over 250 people in KwaZulu-Natal, and an estimated 130,000 jobs hang in the balance. When visiting the disaster zones last Friday, President Cyril Ramaphosa admitted that they were overwhelmed by the situation and could have done better.
We must acknowledge that we were poorly prepared for an orchestrated campaign of public violence, destruction and sabotage of this nature. While we commend the brave actions of our security forces on the ground, we must admit that we did not have the capabilities and the plans in place to respond swiftly and decisively.
With the police force not able to contain the tsunami of looting, it became like a war zone. Seeing the imminent threat to life and property, most of Durban's suburbs galvanized together to protect themselves. They mobilized into informal forums, assembled volunteers, and patrolled borders to secure their food and fuel. Dash Singh is from the newly formed Durban North Joint Operation.
We saw all the neighboring suburbs starting to burn. We saw them having drama. We saw all the shops being looted, and we said, before that comes here, we need to take firm action.
Several communities barricaded their neighborhoods to prevent the looters from entering. Some of the patrollers were armed with hockey sticks, pangas, knives, paintball guns, but others with guns with live ammunition. Was there ever concern that some members of your community might be armed, even though tensions were so high?
Community members were armed. If my family is under threat, I will take whatever steps I can do to protect them. Constitutionally, one of the highest guaranteed rights is the right to life.
I can see the situation escalating. Guys, proceed with caution.
Most of the neighborhoods had little or no experience in dealing with these situations. What they decided to do was to block access into their neighborhood with barricades. Nicole Graham is a volunteer for the community patrol in Musgrave and says with stretched police resources, what were the communities meant to do to protect themselves?
What we've been doing in our area is not necessarily stopping people, but trying to narrow the road and restrict access in terms of making sure people have to be driving slowly and that we can have reasonable control. And it's been successful because we have thwarted major crime attempts.
Dash Singh believes that even though they do not have the necessary experience, they had the tenacity to protect their boundaries. After ransacking the malls, the looters made for other targets in the neighborhoods and were thwarted by the community.
I live amongst the best people in this country. They came out in their thousands to come and help us. Immediately when they heard, this community coalesced so quickly.
Trauma doctor Kevin Naidu heads up the Reservoir Hills Community Policing Sub-Forum, and after ransacking the mall, the looters headed their way.
Close to where we estimated between anything from 200 to 300 people coming towards us. And there was a lot of fear at that point, even for myself, because we're not trained to do this here.
The residents managed to repel 3 attacks with thunder flashes and paintball guns.
We held this line over here and we said that we will not run away from this here and we'll defend our people.
Technology has been a huge weapon in the Neighborhood Watch arsenal. Zello is a phone app that was a game changer. It turns your phone into a walkie-talkie that works anywhere in the world as long as you connect it to the internet. Through this, patrollers know exactly what's happening and where it's happening.
Let me know if you need any help. I can get there in a few minutes.
Some communities also use thermal imaging drone footage to assess incoming threats. The looting didn't stop for days, and the Durban Metro Police Service was overwhelmed and outnumbered. Sibonelo Mqunu is the Deputy Commissioner and says that at any time, they only can muster 400 Metro Police per shift.
As far as the people were concerned, they will still be looting. They stopped looting because of the police, so we were there. We couldn't be in every corner. The numbers don't allow us.
But the barricades also created trauma for law-abiding citizens. Zitobile Machobo from Amaoti was held up at gunpoint in 4 separate roadblocks by Phoenix vigilantes when she was taking a critically ill friend and a recently born baby to hospital.
Where are you going? We said, we're going to the hospital, please. We started crying on the road, pleading for help, asking them to let us move to the hospital. They were having big guns. If you don't want to stop, we'll kill you. Where are you going?
Lizette Lancaster from the Institute for Security Studies is an expert in vigilantism when people take the law into their own hands.
The police were not there where many of these areas erupted. And this is where things went awry, where we started seeing people not only trying to protect themselves, but also meting out punishment. And that is what makes vigilantism a very concerning aspect in South African society. And then often in terms of very emotionally charged situations, people overstep the mark and do racially profile people or assault people, and that then just causes more mistrust.
The memories of the violence still haunt Zitobile.
I'm always waking at night, seeing myself holding a baby and us saying, are you gonna kill us with this innocent child?
We lost 20 people in Phoenix because of the actions of the criminal elements disguised as communities. However, we will also not undermine some communities that were very, very cooperative and working for the interest of the society, and we recommend those communities.
No, I chose to come here today because I thought I should come and help the community.
And out of the ashes, that incredible South African spirit galvanized communities. They took to the streets and cleaned them up. Trucks came in and gave food freely to those in need. There is an apprehensive calm at the moment. The South African National Defence Force troops have been mobilized to maintain order, ringleaders have been arrested, and thousands of others still face the might of the law. But the path back to stability in Durban is a long one.